Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another installment here. Fox News killed itself last night. It killed itself in front of all of us before our very eyes. And, we want to talk Tucker. I really want to get into that, so we will. But just off the top, I do want to make a little announcement as it relates to us and our show. Our YouTube video got blocked. Not our last episode, the bonus one that we put out, but the one before that, the Incel Rupi Kaur episode, got blocked 2 weeks after I posted it, or 11 days, 12 days to be exact, by YouTube and by NBC Universal. So, I have a little bone to pick here. And I don't want to take too much time talking about this. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about this, but it is a little annoying that it's one of my favorite episodes. I put it out not that long ago, and when you upload a video, it goes through and processes it and does the checks and tells you if there's anything wrong. And, it didn't tell me that. It said everything was fine. And then 2 weeks later, I get an email saying my video has been removed because NBC Universal, and I don't want to blame YouTube, okay, because I know who my daddy is, all right? I know I don't want to piss off some sentient bot that decides whether or not to recommend me in the algorithm to you lovely people, okay? Because otherwise, how would you find the video if not for the recommendations? I don't want to piss off that little bot, so I'm gonna redirect my contempt to NBC Universal, who has actually fucked with me many a time. So my episode with Ivy that I did, which is I loved that episode, and they you can't view it if you live outside of the US. And some of my listeners do live outside of the US. I don't have that many listeners, but I do have some that live outside the US, and they can't hear it without a VPN. There have been many times I've tried to upload a video and NBC has a problem with it. Now, you'd think I'd learn my lesson by now, but I have yet to learn that lesson because it's never been clear. Sometimes it's okay. So sometimes we got away with, posting a couple things here and there, like showing videos. And then other times they get mad at us. And it kind of just makes you kind of want to pack it in a little bit because it's what is the point? No. I'm just saying I know, but I don't want to pack. I love doing it. But it's what is the point? You know what I mean? What is the point of doing this? Because I don't want to be one of these podcasts. Many of the, largely female led, and actually a lot of them, just people that do comedy, their podcasts are I don't want to talk about dating advice and dating in LA and my love life and, my contempt for my parents, who are wealthy and were probably really nice to me. I don't really
serial killers.
I don't want to do my favorite murder. I don't want to talk about alcoholism. I don't want to talk about codependency. I don't want to talk about boring shit. I want to talk about shit that interests me and hopefully interests other people. Yeah, trauma. How about this for trauma? How about my video getting blocked every other day? How's that for some emotional trauma? How about that? Maybe not everything's so fucking Freudian. Maybe sometimes it's a little dystopian. It's really annoying. It's really fucking annoying because, and again, love YouTube. Don't want to say a single bad thing about YouTube. This is not on YouTube, okay? They don't pay me a single cent, but I know, occasionally they allow me to put a video up on their platform, and for that I am very grateful. But NBC, you don't employ me, all right? You employ a lot of unfunny people in this town. All right, let me tell you, employ a lot of really unfunny people on various shows, like SNL for one of them. Okay, I couldn't be more grateful to not be the newest unfunny cast member on SNL or one of the extras in the therapy room at This Is Us or whatever that dumb show is. So I will redirect my anger at you because you have a bounty on my head and I'm nobody. Okay, I'm a literal nobody and you have a bounty on my head, and it kind of makes you just be like, you know what? Why don't I just go get some corporate job, pay off my fucking credit card debt, okay? And, have a 2-week empty vacation somewhere that isn't even that nice, but, it sedates you long enough to go back to your fucking cubicle and do it all over again.
Tulum.
Yeah, exactly. Tulum. Fucking, yeah. I'd rather go to Tulum once every 3 years, okay? Post a couple pictures on Instagram and then blow my brains out. Then try to put a show together where it's I'm not qualified to talk about half the shit I talk about, but it's never stopped me before. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it, but it's all of the extra work takes so much time when you're having to sit there and edit this out and edit that out. And it's all I did in the last episode was play an interview of Rupi Kaur on Jimmy Fallon. Am I not allowed to fucking do that? Is it because that I'm criticizing them? They said they manually reviewed it afterwards. 12 days after it's been up. What? What do you mean? We live in litigious and authoritarian hell, okay? I'm sick of all this copyright bullshit. There's a thing that exists called fair use doctrine that is a legal policy that is not implemented because we seriously like do not prioritize or have any care about the First Amendment whatsoever. So we don't implement that. We don't implement it. And fair use essentially just says that if you're criticizing something for entertainment purposes or whatever. It's under the First Amendment. I'm sitting there, talking about Rupi Kaur's awful poetry. I'm doing a public service shitting all over her. I'm doing a public service. And you want to come for me 2 weeks after I post the episode? It's a little annoying. It's a little annoying that I can't criticize Rupi Kaur. And, God forbid I want to add a visual element for you guys. You know what I mean? God forbid I want you guys to follow along with what I'm seeing, the hell that I'm seeing. We live in hell. I mean, we live in hell. And it's like, why do I want to sit around and fight with like digital warlords all day? Because it takes time and it's time consuming. And it's like, now I have to upload it to Patreon, which is, I'm happy to do that. But it's like, I don't have nearly as many people on Patreon as I do on here. And I don't want to ask people to pay to watch a video that I tried to make free. And, I don't get a cent from YouTube. And it's annoying. And all this shit is time consuming. And it's like, I enjoy this part. I enjoy this right here. And then I have to spend hours mulling over what I have to edit out so that somebody doesn't come, fuck me with a 10-foot pole. Like, it's really, really frustrating, like extremely frustrating. And so it's like, maybe I'll just start doing Call Her Daddy. Isn't it amazing? You could sit there and talk about, getting fucked with anal beads, but you can't show a video from NBC Universal. I mean, at a certain point, it's like when you're blocking everything on a legal basis, on fake legal grounds, which I guess they're not fake, but when you're doing that on the biggest platform, biggest video platform, NBC, again, I'm not blaming YouTube. This is none of this is YouTube's fault.
No,
okay,
dude.
who I love dearly.
No,
okay, this is
pay
all
unto
NBC.
Caesar.
Yeah, this is all NBC. So
it's
yeah, so it's just a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating. Of course, I am so grateful to Daddy YouTube. To I know who's Daddy. I know.
Call her Daddy.
Yeah. Listen, I should just talk about like, the thing about codependency and the trauma, because then someone will just come hand me a fucking, maybe I'll get a Spotify deal. Not that she's bad. Yeah. I think she's good at what she does, but it's like that's not my area of interest.
I think everyone sucks but us.
I agree with that fully. Actually, I fully agree with that.
Everyone sucks ass but us.
But us and the people running YouTube who are,
everyone
totally
sucks ass but us and our
friends.
friends.
Yeah, us and our friends. And some of our friends suck too, actually. It's like, while we're at it. It's a little frustrating, but I don't want to harp on it too much. It was one of my favorite episodes and I really enjoyed it. And it just sucks. It just sucks because it's like, now I have to sit there and blur out the part of the interview that she's there. If I'm even allowed to do that on the YouTube editor, it's a whole thing, and it's annoying also because it's like last week I did a whole episode that we're going to put on the Patreon, but it's like I did a whole fucking hour on how much Vimeo pissed me off. Like, how many times you are just fighting with them at the end of the day. And it's like, I got to make a buck. Like, this is maybe not like worth it. Yeah. Like, and I'm not trying to, I'm not going to do that, but it's like, it's fucking time consuming sitting there every day trying to figure out, how do I use the blur in Final Cut Pro to blur out the thing because the lawyers and the people, and it's like, you know what it is? They don't want people criticizing them. If a video exists on YouTube, why can't you play it? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, and it's not YouTube. It's their lawyer. It's NBC's lawyers. It's Discovery Channel's lawyers. When they didn't let me upload that Naked and Afraid episode, I sat there and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll upload one of the Patreon ones. And I tried to upload, I'm not joking, John, 5 of our episodes. None of them worked because everything got copyrighted.
Damn.
Every single one. Every single one.
I have a family
So they're all on
member.
Patreon, but they're not. I can't play them here, even though I would like to.
I have a family member that was guillotined in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany for writing a scathing review of Carmen that Goebbels put on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was a semi-famous cartoonist in Germany at the time. And this is actually giving me generational DNA trauma.
Yeah.
I go to
the
bed.
Imprinting.
Yeah, the imprinting. I have shaking nightmares of NBC Universal, kind of like a giant coming towards me.
Yeah,
crawling into my window.
Same.
Ripping me to pieces.
They're a proverbial monster. I mean, and it's like, it's like, hey, super happy to never be because at this point, it's like they own everything. The episode I did with Ivy is like I played a 1-minute clip from a reality show on E! From 2010. I'm not joking,
that's
John.
wild.
It was 1:20. They said, well, you're free to cut it out if you want your video back on YouTube. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't want to cut out anything if I don't have to. Like, I refuse to do that. And it's like, then what can I why provide this visual element at all? I mean, thank God for these people that are allowing us to play this jellyfish right now. They don't have lawyers to come fuck us.
Yeah.
You know, it really, it's like extremely, extremely frustrating. They don't. I mean, they make dreamscapes, you know, like we live in hell. Like it literally, we live in hell. It's dystopian. The worst, you know, what is or not to get really lame here and like start, not that it's lame, but it's like overdone. I don't want to sit here and talk about George Orwell, but it's like, you know, the worst kind of censorship is self-censorship. And at a certain point you start to self-censor because you're scared and you don't want to, you know, you don't want to criticize anybody, and not even just of the people that run some of these platforms, but just the algorithms and the bots. And it's like, you look at ChatGPT and what that's turning into. It's like, how do I know that some of these algorithms, many of which are not open source, don't have some small level of sentience? I'm not saying that they do. I'm not trying to like, you know, theorize on things that I don't have any idea about, but it's like, it's not a far away possibility. So who's to say? And well, what is the manual review, and why is there no recourse, and like, why is there nobody I can reach out to or speak to, or why do I have to hire my own lawyers? I mean, I'm gonna sit there and start reading about fair use policy tonight, and I'm gonna go back and I'm like, what's the legal precedent? Like, what do people do? Not because I can afford to do any of the things that they do. I don't have the resources or the time, frankly, but like it bothers me.
Well,
so
have you read those articles and the people do like manual reviews on like Facebook and stuff, and how they're stuck in these offices and like they're watching like snuff films all day.
That's
and, like,
really funny.
And they have to have like sex in the hallway to like relieve stress, and they're all like suicidal and stuff
because of the shit that they watch all day.
Yeah,
long?
have you not seen this?
No.
Oh, it's a fantastic article about these people. They have like no health insurance, and like the sick part about this is like, oh, it's such a good article. But you know, the people doing manual reviews at YouTube, they probably watch snuff films all day and like graphic, like crazy, like red rooms of people getting executed in like Germany.
Yeah.
And
and people watching Jimmy Kimmel interviews.
Yeah, and then the sickest part about this
poetry.
is that's probably the best thing they saw all day was you and I speaking about Jimmy Kimmel, and then they were like, "Fuck you," and then hit the delete.
Well, I just want to know what prompts that. Is somebody reporting it? Is it did the bot make a mistake like the first time around? Like, I just kind of want to know like what you know. And the editor, I don't know, it wouldn't even let me blur it, and like it's, I mean, the time that this takes is like, it really makes you wonder. It's like, I'm 28 episodes in. Okay, I've not been doing this that long. I'm pretty new to this, and I'm already constantly trying to dodge like legal bullets. I mean, because I just want to talk about things and I want to show people things. Like, I just want to talk about things that I find interesting.
Yeah.
Am I reaching for the stars here? Is it really that crazy to talk about things on a podcast? I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? What is everybody doing if you can't show people shit?
Well, what's crazy is like they're like popular like movie review like YouTube channels where they have like straight up just like scenes from the film.
How do they do that?
Yeah, how do you do it?
How do you do that?
How do you do it?
That's such a good point,
How do you
John.
fucking do it? I think they upload. I think honestly, I think they're uploaded like full director's commentaries on YouTube. Like, how do you fucking do that?
Not a single clue, dude. Also, like, so many of these videos exist on there, like that movie clips channel where I love that channel. You get to like watch a bunch of clips from your favorite movies.
Well, they're probably paid by the studios to do that.
Well, it's like, how do you get to that point? How do you get to that point?
He's got to talk to a couple suits.
I mean, this goes right into Tucker. I mean, look at Tucker is the biggest primetime news host, okay, cable news host, and he is being censored.
Yeah, what happened to him?
By Rupert Murdoch. But still, well, he's a liability because he says things that he wants to say, and that doesn't bode well for being a, huge figure. I mean, that's why he pulls in, 3.84 million views a night.
That's wild for a news channel.
Wild for a news show. Wild for anybody when his, colleagues are doing not even half of that. Not even close. Like, they're doing nothing. A lot of times they're doing less than a lot of, like, they don't reveal these numbers. Like, what is it? Like Nielsen ratings, which jury's out on whether that's even accurate. But he was a significant figure there for a reason. People gravitate towards him for a reason. He'll be fine regardless of whatever he does. But it's like all of these like legacy media news channels, they're all dying. I mean, their key demo is like they're all old people. They're all like on their way out. And it's not going to last. And it's Rupert Murdoch is fucking. I mean, I read the Vanity Fair article that they wrote about the Murdoch family, and like everyone knows that Succession's loosely based off of the Murdochs, but this article went into it and I was like, damn, I didn't know how much Succession was based on it. Like once I started reading about all the family dynamics and the 3 siblings and how the 4 eldest siblings are the ones that have like board seats, but only 3 of them are actually active. I'm like, damn, this is like actually exactly like Succession. It's actually exactly like Succession. But you know, they're sitting there. It's like, who gets Harper Collins in the deal? Who gets Fox? Oh, I get 20th Century. I get the movies. And it's like, and it's just a bunch of people fighting over, you know, insane, massive companies. And I'm just trying to put a YouTube video out, folks. And Tucker's just trying to talk about the deep state. Like, can we all relax here?
Yeah, Tucker's just trying to expose the hand that feeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's always a good faith actor. Listen.
No, he's knowing as fuck sometimes.
But he's got a lot of the right idea as it relates to foreign policy, as it relates to intelligence agencies.
He's got the right idea with nicotine. Loves nicotine, the guy.
Yeah, who cares? That's maybe the worst part. But, you know, I don't know. It really demoralizes you after a while because I'm like, what is the point? I should just talk about getting fucked. Like, that's what most of these podcasts are. Like, technically this is a comedy podcast, you know, I didn't know what else to put it under. And so and I, you know, used to do stand up a long time ago when I didn't respect myself. And, you know, now you can't do comedy. Like you can't do anything. You can't joke about anything. You can't talk about anything. You can't, you know, and I know that it's not like them just straight up censoring me. I know that it's obviously copyright issues, but copyright in and of itself is like, at a certain point when you copyright someone over and over and over and over again, that's tantamount to censorship. It's the fucking difference.
Yeah.
You just fucking sue somebody over and over and over again to get rid of their... Stop trying to silence me, okay? I'm not fucking saying anything that crazy. I'm talking about reality TV and a bad poet, okay? That's all I'm doing here. They're coming for me.
Yeah, they're gonna... There's gonna be it's gonna be like a Jason Bourne thing. There's gonna be like a guy they're gonna activate and he's gonna come after you.
That would be so much more.
You're gonna be you're gonna be in Waterloo Station in London. You're just gonna get shot in the head or something.
God willing.
Yeah.
God.
So what's up with Tuck?
Well,
what'd he say?
He didn't even. You know, he found out like right before we found out that he was getting fired. Like minutes before we found out.
Well, he must have done something explosive.
No, I mean, I think he was. It was something with the Dominion voting. I read the article and it wasn't about this specifically, but because this news came like a week or 2 later, but yeah, you know, the Dominion voting people systems, the machines were suing Fox in a pretty massive defamation trial because that's, I think, happening right now. I want to say like 800 million to $1 billion of they would have to settle because they, you know, they're saying shit that's not true about the voting systems. Yeah. Like defamatory shit.
Oh, so it's costing them money. That's when they...
Yeah, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all those details. But yeah, so basically instead of settling it, I think Rupert Murdoch made a bad decision here. Shocking. That a guy who's 92 really doesn't have his wits about him. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So he... I guess instead of settling, he like dragged it out and then fired Tucker, which is costing them an additional almost 700 million in a stock drop, I think, the valuation. And again, I'm not a reporter, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt, but this is my understanding of it. And and so the stock is plummeting. They're not going to have nearly the viewers that they had, but in a sense, they are happy to get rid of someone who I guess they assume is that probably rightfully is a liability for them because advertisers don't like someone telling the truth. Neither does legacy media and neither do the people that are heading it because anything that they say, especially with this, you know, with the Dominion stuff, you know, Tucker was playing to the Trump audience who I don't think he even has any respect for, but he was trying to keep the numbers high, and I get it. The pressure's high, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the fucking, the voting and it's not true, but also like Rupert Murdoch allowed all this to happen. It's not just Tucker. I mean, it's like Rupert Murdoch himself who went back and forth. The article was kind of laying out like his relationship with Trump. And obviously he didn't like Trump in the beginning. He thought he was a bumbling idiot. And then whenever he did win, it's the same Logan Roy thing where, you know, you use these people as political pawns for your own gain. And that's what he did with Trump. And he made a lot of lucrative deals with him while he was president. Eventually decided to kind of go all in on Trump with Fox News after he was elected, of course, not beforehand. Beforehand, he was not respecting Trump at all as a real nominee. And then whenever he does eventually win, he's like, all right, well, how can I use this to my advantage? And, you know, gets Trump to do some antitrust thing with Google, which then allows Murdoch to make a very lucrative deal with Google about, I don't know if it's news or streaming, or he fucking owns everything. Okay. He owns fucking everything. And now Disney, actually, Bob Iger made a deal with Logan Roy, Rupert Murdoch, and they're the same person. And so now Disney owns, what is that? The gun, the AR-15. Oh, so sad. Yeah. And so and now he has to choose which kid is going to take over, and they're all fighting and they're at each other's throats. It's a really good article on Vanity Fair. If anyone gets time to read it, it was really interesting profile on that whole family. You know, he gets married every other day. He's not all that sharp himself, and frankly, he wasn't always that sharp. I'm not saying that these people aren't smart. They're wicked smart to get to the position they're in, but you know, eventually, as you see in Succession, these wits start to fizzle out. They start making crazy senile decisions. They start getting influenced, you know, by their Filipino nurses eventually, or you know, they'd be way luckier to have a Filipino nurse. That person would probably be way more well adjusted than the people he actually is dating. Who Jerry Hall, you know, she's like, I don't like Trump, and I was married to Mick Jagger for, you know, all these years, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, and like the article paints her really nicely, like, oh, she was taking care of him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, if you hate the guy so much and you hate everything he stands for and you're essentially calling him a liar and a terrible person, then what the fuck? I mean, it's some Carmela Soprano shit. It's some Carmela Soprano shit where I'm like, you're guilty by association. Please stop acting like you're such a good person because Trump rubs you the wrong way in terms of what he says. I mean, these people don't care about what people do. They care about what they say. And I'm not saying Trump did everything right at all. Like, I'm not saying that at all. He did a lot of shit, especially with Rupert Murdoch, that I do not fucking jive with or agree with at all. But let's also talk about the people that are really running the show here. These shadowy figures. Rupert Murdoch is one of them. He controls so much of the media landscape. So much. I mean, imagine being Roger Ailes' boss. Like, imagine that.
That's crazy.
And then running fucking owning the Wall Street Journal and owning all these UK publications, and then 20th Century Fox. You got films, you got television, you got your hands in everything. Everything. You choose the president practically.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking the other day, like one of the funniest things about men is their ability to just make horrible financial decisions.
I mean, I wouldn't limit it to men.
I know, but there's this. Like, you know, you have dads; they make bad financial decisions. But it's hilarious when your dad is running everything. Yeah. Imagine. No, your dad's literally God. Your dad is God. You know, men are just the dumbest people on earth. It's so funny.
Everyone's stupid.
Oh, everyone's really dumb.
I'm an idiot. I'm like, why do I keep playing videos? I shouldn't play anything. Why do we even use this? You know? I mean, what can I play? Can I play news?
I don't think so.
It's just, but we've played stuff.
I think we just got to stay away from like reality.
Everything?
Unless it's on like TikTok or some shit. Like the double homicide video is very funny. What? Remember when Leigh was talking about her abortion on that reality show?
Your what?
Remember that lady when she talked about boarding twins?
I don't think we could have played that on the public episode.
Oh, that was a Patreon?
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't even remember. No, I think that was a Patreon. Yeah, I don't think we could publicly play that. You can't publicly play anything. You know who we did get away with was Pluto TV.
Pluto TV kicks so much
Had not a problem with that.
Fuck yeah, Pluto.
But I'm sure we would run into a problem eventually because you can't, you know, because Pluto replays stuff. I mean, they've obviously bought the rights to do so. We have not.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like Pluto probably just like...
Oh no, I'll sit around all day and watch Pluto.
Yeah.
In fact, I might need to do that today just as like a cleanser.
Pluto.
Yeah, because it's like this shit just makes me so on edge.
We are huge advocates for Pluto TV.
Huge advocates for Pluto.
Pluto TV is great. Eventually, this podcast is going to move to the Pluto TV platform, and it'll only be available on Pluto TV.
That would be lovely. Or Tubi, depending on... Yeah, we'll have a bidding war between our two faves.
Between Roku TV, Tubi, and Pluto TV.
Yeah. They have HarperCollins. We have Tubi.
We're right after the Unsolved Mysteries channel.
That would be such an honor. I would start a Dick Cavett channel like the way they have one for Johnny Carson. I would do that for Dick Cavett.
I'm like your guy on the couch.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be hilarious. I'm in a big dumb suit. I'm constantly farting.
You're Andy Richter.
Yeah. No, I'm like the Chelsea Handler one, like the little tiny.
Oh, don't speak about yourself that way. You're just farting all over the place. John really ripped it in here earlier. It was horrifying.
Yeah,
we literally had to wait 20 minutes.
I gassed her out. I
counted the clock.
I chemical lead Ida. It was like 20 minutes. You couldn't come inside here.
No, I really couldn't. I was wilting like a flower. It was horrific. It was really bad. It was like I felt like
I'm immune.
I don't want to compare it to a gas chamber, but I'm saying I don't want to do that. I wasn't going to do that. No. Also, let me just make it very clear, okay? If I haven't, for whoever's listening to this, the bots, I love YouTube.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah. So much.
More than Pluto TV.
More than God. More than anybody. More than Kanye. Okay. Love YouTube. Love the folks that run YouTube. Love all the rules that are implemented. Have not a single problem with any of them. Mm-hmm. Everybody at YouTube is doing right by me.
Yeah.
Ain't that right?
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tip my hat.
Enough said.
To them. Thank you for allowing me to occasionally say a word or two on here. I do appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that. And allowing me the freedom to say 5 out of the million words that are in the English language. I'm so beyond grateful. Aren't we so grateful, John?
I love YouTube.
Love them. YouTube's the internet was really fun for like 5 years.
Yeah,
like really fun. You could do whatever you wanted for like 5 years.
E-Bombs World era.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, before that, it was like, do you remember the internet when it was just like chat forums and shit?
Yeah, like Zanga and not really. I mean, I was
not even that. Like Web 1.0 shit. Like it was like Dancing Baby and like all these weird like
that was
OG
before my
Yahoo.
time.
Yeah, that was fun. I remember my dad.
How do you remember that? You're not that old.
I mean, like it's so funny. Technology moves so fast that like, it's like dog years. Yeah, I might as well be like, fucking a decade older than you when it comes to like internet shit.
Yeah,
everything moves so fast. Also, I know a lot about the internet.
You do know a lot.
I'm a internet historian.
But I'm the one that told you about dead internet theory.
Yeah, and
we didn't release that episode. Actually, we should release that one.
Yeah, I could tell you all about the early days on all the crazy websites.
I mean, they've really just taken the wind out of my sails, these people. And by the way, Tucker Carlson, such a hot guy. Not enough people talk about how hot he is.
He's like
he has sex appeal. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, he's got that's it's so
does
funny.
Kevin McCarthy. It pains me to say that Kevin McCarthy has sex appeal. It does not pain me to say that Tucker Carlson has sex appeal.
Tucker. Yeah, my mom loves Tuck. She goes, I'm watching Tuck tonight. And I go, love you, Mom.
I mean, who doesn't love him? Did you watch Trump on Full Send?
No.
Because we did talk. By the way, the episode that they got rid of.
That was a while ago, right? Trump on Full Send? That was a while ago,
No, it was the other day.
Oh, really?
They got him reacting to Tucker's firing.
Oh, he's like, oh, God.
Don Lemon, as Tucker would call him, also got fired same day. A little odd as Tucker. But he's like George Santos. He is. I said something kind of fucked up on Twitter, and I said, which is pretty. I had to delete it immediately. I don't even know that I could say that. I didn't say that. Allegedly, somebody said that on my behalf and hacked my account and said something like that, and so I had to get rid of it. I only say that because he's like a misogynist and a psychopath, and
yeah, I mean, like
a horrible person. No, yeah, I mean, but did you hear him talking about like women or once they're past a certain age, they're not in their prime anymore, and he said this all publicly next to his 2 female co-hosts.
Yeah, that's wild.
That are like obviously in their 40s or whatever, and he's like insulting.
He's like, not you, honey, you got legs.
Yeah, no, I mean, he could tell he hates them too.
You don't need to say stuff like that out loud,
No, he doesn't need to talk. Dude, he also like got mad at Jonah Hill one time for like not knowing who he was. I'll never forget this. People have probably forgotten this, but I'll never forget it. He got like upset and he like tweeted that Jonah Hill's like an asshole or something. And it's because Jonah Hill didn't know who Don Lemon was. And like that really rubbed him the wrong way.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, he's gone. I mean, sayonara. He also like wrote this note that looked like somebody typed it up on Zanga. Speaking of old internet, like it was like this weird purple font, and it felt like somebody like. It was very strange. But
There's
yeah,
like Evanescence playing in the background when you read it.
love that. We'd play the song, but you can't. You can't play a song.
She's got pipes. That girl
Oh
from
yeah, Amy Lee.
Yeah,
she was great. You know, it was a Christian band. I bought their album in the 4th grade, I think.
The Killers is a Christian band.
What's that?
The Killers.
Yeah, Mormon, right?
Well, yeah.
Some shit.
They made
some
of the best fucking pop music ever.
Oh, Killers are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Brandon Flowers is the man.
Yeah. So good.
Little tiny guy, super good looking.
So good. Yeah, so good looking and so talented. Would love to play a song of theirs at some point, but can't do that.
Love to play their experimental album.
Yeah, can't do it.
Really great.
Can't even play a snippet because we'll get removed.
West Hills, great song.
It's like, what if you're like dancing to a song and you post that on the internet?
That can get taken
down. A problem?
That can get taken down.
What is the point of anything? What is the point? And I'm not advocating that, They
want you in a sterile environment, just like talking like a madman with
yeah,
in a padded room. That's the only thing that's legal now is getting putting your lobotomy on YouTube. That's the only thing that's legal.
I mean, it would be certainly a lot more interesting than a lot of the content we see out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure some LA comedian will do that soon.
Oh, post their lobotomy.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There was this experiment. You ever go on Lost Media archives? Mm-mm. You know what Lost Media is? Lost Media is like films that are rumored to exist. Oh. And then they'll find them. And like one of them was there was this woman in the 70s, and there's an ancient practice of drilling into your own head to relieve pressure. And she was like an artist in the 70s that just did that and like filmed it
to her own head.
Own skull, yeah.
So she died, right?
No, I think she just like became really mortally wounded. But also like the most famous piece of Lost Media is that film that I forget that famous actor was in from the like 50s, 60s about a clown in a concentration camp during the Holocaust, and it was never released because it was just seen as too like troublesome. Well, it's like a sad clown story. He's like a Jewish clown, but it was just such a sad, depressing movie. They never released it, but then they found like after like 40 years they found the film. And like really cool stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I don't know it.
But yeah, that's what's lobotomy on YouTube. That's what part of me too.
Is it on YouTube?
No, there's this lostmediaarchives.com.
Oh, this is a website?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well,
there's tons of cool
Are we
shit.
Allowed to?
Probably. Yeah, fuck it.
I don't want to like.
You don't have to bring it up. I'm
curious, but I don't know if I can do anything now.
Ido pilots this starship, and I'm the navigation device. Okay.
Yeah, I have no sense of direction. None whatsoever. Okay. It was just very demoralizing because I wanted to come here and have some fresh hot take about Tucker, but I don't. The thing is I love Tucker. I wish I didn't, but I do. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's hard not to like a guy who seems to be more on the right side of history these days than anybody else, even with whatever colorful past he may have had. Okay, and present potentially. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be just fine. I actually really enjoy him in the long form. Like I enjoy him. His
articles.
Yeah, his writing, but his extensive speeches, like his podcasts, on Full Send, I said on one of our episodes that I loved. I really enjoyed. He was talking about the alien stuff in a way that I've never heard anybody. Actually, I think we can play that because I don't think the Nelk boys are going to sue us. Let's see. Tucker Full Send. I'm like 3 degrees away from... Anyway. Do they have chapters? Oh, come on now.
Come on, I have chapters in your YouTube videos.
I started doing them, but I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of adding chapters to something? You're just gonna fucking take it down. Take it all down.
That much about money.
3 weeks later.
Like, how can that even be? He's like, no, that's totally possible. Well, we know it's possible because it happened. So we don't know where he made his money. He was not running a hedge fund. That's not true. He executed like no trades. He was not a finance guy. So we're department saying,
yeah, he's like the hot guy in your Ivy League
to wear it around your neck.
He's what?
He's like the hot guy in the Ivy League school.
Totally hot frat guy. Hot. Yeah.
He's like the one that's not like jacked or anything, but he's getting all the chicks. Study chicks.
But I think he has periods of time. His weight has fluctuated over the years, and he's certainly had times where he's been more svelte and
nice,
bigger.
I mean, have you seen those pictures of young Alex Jones?
Oh,
Oh my god,
so hot. Ryan
What a
Gosling.
fucking-
He looks just
a
like Ryan
super
Gosling.
soldier.
Yeah, I want to find the part where he's talking about the aliens.
Future ahead of you. You don't care what happens because
publicly, but they probably don't obviously agree with what's going on. So
This guy's
like we
voice
were getting
is-
flack like, oh, what the fuck, you're going to support Russia? And we're like, dude, we're just going to see people there
going to
just because
support
like
Russia.
Yeah.
You know, law abiding. Though in my heart, I'm not. I can tell you that. I can
Hell
tell you
yeah.
that.
So crazy.
But I
That's
do
me.
obey the law. So I'm like, whatever.
love him.
But now I can't go to Russia. Anyway, this is a long sidebar that
You know
detracts.
what Julius
from my
Caesar said about obeying the law?
no.
What?
You should only break the law if it's to seize power.
What?
That's what Julius Caesar said. About
Are
breaking
you
the law.
reiterating that to second it or to?
Yeah, I'm seconding that shit. If you break the law, it better be so that the law doesn't apply to you anymore. You know?
As opposed to what?
As opposed to breaking the law and like doing criminal activity. He's like playing 4D chess. He's like, I'm gonna break the law so the law doesn't work on me.
How do I do that with an algorithm?
Crap
Exactly.
is not. You know what's safe?
All we gotta do is we gotta get so
and
big.
Ask any mafia.
We can't be
Yeah, we just gotta
touched.
blow this up.
blow this up. We're gonna. Make
I mean,
TikToks.
frankly, like I'm not gonna deal with this shit forever. So if the Patreon
Yeah.
doesn't blow up, where I can just say things that I want to say,
Well, I mean, we're just starting out.
I
you
know I'm just starting, but it's like I can't do 10 hours of figuring out what I can blur and what I shouldn't blur and what I can say and what I can't
Yeah.
say. Because if I'm not going to like say, I will not be silenced. I will say what I want to say and I will talk about what I want to talk about. And if I can't do that, then I'm not going to talk at all.
Yeah.
Is that so
the
much
pen
to
is
ask
mightier
for?
than the sword, NBC Universal.
I mean, I got this notification 5 hours ago. I was sending a message to some,
You were
fake.
so mad. I came over here. I saw your Instagram stories. Like, I was gonna come over here. Ida's gonna be way up high.
Oh, and I was.
Oh, she was running around the house like Lucy Ball. Lucille Ball.
Lucy Ball.
What the
Lucille
fuck is
Ball.
her name?
Lucille Ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
just skittering around the house like a chihuahua on hardwood floor.
Yeah, that's how I felt. And
And,
now I'm coming down off of that. And now we're at the stage of the mood where I'm just bummed
You're just
because I have
You're
to.
at the stage of denial.
Now I'm just I'm past
you're
denial.
past-
Now I'm
Acceptance.
actually post acceptance. I've already quit the podcast. Okay, that's where I'm at. I'm post acceptance. I'm saying I can't do this on this platform that I love so much and am
Yeah.
so grateful for, and I think is just the most forward thinking.
Bee's knees.
Yeah, just
ain't Vimeo.
principled site out there
Mm-hmm.
that allows me to say a few words
Mm-hmm.
occasionally.
Very good.
Yeah,
Be a don.
let's get to
Park
the
your car in
aliens.
front of the liquor store. Leave your phone in the vehicle. Whipped back around. So they were right behind me. I whipped around and I was like,
Sorry, guys,
you know,
I don't
because
have
I'm
a
very
timestamp.
easily incited. It doesn't take a lot to
Yeah.
like whip me.
I
into
need
a
to go
total,
outside and
like,
fart again.
Having,
Are
that's
you
why we're not in my
dead
house.
serious?
Serious right now?
Dead serious.
No, I
So I
appreciate
love
you letting me
people,
know
but I
and
want
not doing
to
it out
be
here.
able
If
to
you could
invite
walk a
people.
few
I'm gonna walk down.
feet,
I'm gonna walk
so
like
that
a-
because the window's
50.
open. So
Yeah, I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
In fact, go to another state and do it.
I'm gonna go to Weed, California.
Yeah, please, holy shit.
Until
All
I was
right, you
45.
do that. I'm gonna find this timestamp.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, we had to take a brief intermission because John has IBS or there's like something going on with his stomach.
I had
that-
I had fruit and a
I
protein
don't
shake
need
and
to know.
coffee, and it was just a lethal combination in my
you
stomach.
have digestive problems.
No,
You do.
actually,
Yeah,
if
you
my
do.
diet's good, I don't. But that was just a wild combo.
John, you have to take a shit more than anyone I've ever met in my life
No,
combined.
it just so happens that
all the time.
I'm away from my home constantly, and whenever I come over here, it's usually poo-poo time.
John,
I take one shit a day.
I don't even want to air you saying. I can't even repeat that. I literally can't. I honestly.
Poo-poo time?
If you say it again, I'm so repulsed right now.
Like poo-poo? That's so
Please
innocent.
stop. I'm going to lose my mind if you say that again. You've already farted in the room 3 times. I smell
It's 'cause
poopery
gas
coming
was
off of
passing
you.
over the
I
shit.
can't do this. I am with the people that look like me do not talk about things like this. Okay? I hate to be that person right now. Okay? Trying to be in my humble girl era. Can't do it.
Yeah,
Can't talk
you know,
about that.
It's just sometimes my tummy hurts.
I'm going to come down with my own censorship campaign of any talk about
stop trying to
bodily
censor
functions.
me, dude.
Let's talk about something way more important, and it's about your imminent death on Naked and Afraid.
Oh yeah, I had the second interview today.
How did you had the second interview?
Passive flying colors.
Hell yeah, dude! I have created.
I have the third interview.
Narrative here. God forbid we show any of the show Naked and Afraid.
So third interview is on Monday.
Okay, so who was your second interview with? First was Lucas, my friend.
Second interview was Lucas. It was an official interview. Where I was
so the first one was that you talked to. Why can't I be in on these phone calls? Can I listen in?
No, psycho. This is
why. This is my whole thing. Lucas is my friend. That's how it started this whole thing.
You could have been in on the first two, but I guess. But the third one is gonna be. I'm gonna ask him if I can. Third one, absolutely not. That's what the head casting producer. So. It's a Vimeo.
So I already missed my chance.
Hey, missed your chance.
Can I be in the background when you do the Zoom call? They won't know I'm there.
So here's a big problem: is I'm gonna be doing it naked.
What, John?
So I'm gonna be.
Excuse me. Is this required?
No, I'm just gonna do it.
No, John, don't do that. You're gonna ruin your chances.
Lucas said it was a good idea. Lucas said it was a good idea.
That's not.
Lucas said
I don't
want
to ruin your chances of getting on.
I said I'm gonna do the interview nude, and he was like, we've had people do it with their shirts off, but nobody's ever done it naked before, and he loved it.
Okay, he might love it creatively.
You don't understand reality TV, dude. They want me.
Yeah, but they're not going to want you to do that in the interview.
Yeah, no, they're going to know I'll do anything,
I'm
dude.
texting him right now.
Text him about the naked idea. And then, so I'm going to be naked on the Zoom interview. And then when I'm with the whole casting crew, I'm going to be naked as well. They, of course, won't see my junk. I'm going to have the laptop over my wiener. But, I'm gonna be the only problem is I'm gonna be doing it on your couch upstairs so that Devin can film me. I know you're already furious.
You're not doing that.
I can't if I'm bathed.
So Devin's gonna watch you naked to this interview. So this is your dream.
No. It's a funny thing dudes do.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's actually.
You won't see anything.
You're a full-on homosexual. Okay, I'm not saying that with any contempt. In fact, I hope that to be the reality. Certainly, it would make our friendship make a hell of a lot more sense.
What great promo material is me on a Zoom call with Naked and Afraid
It's
cast.
you fully clothed, coming out as gay in the third interview of Naked and Afraid and coming clean.
Naked as hell.
Yeah, naked figuratively. Where you come clean about your sexual proclivities.
I'm straight as an arrow. I'm just not ashamed of my bod, which is perfect.
That's why you need a guy filming you naked on his couch.
It's going to be, how are we going to put it? It's going to be on Instagram.
Hold on. When you're doing a Zoom call naked, why would somebody film you doing this?
Because it'd be funny to put on Instagram because all this is for the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm doing this for us,
need to get naked outside of the show.
I'm doing this for us. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Because that's funny. Because I don't. That's what's funny about it.
Humiliating.
That's what's funny about it is I don't have to be naked out of the show, but I'm going to do it anyways. I have so many plans.
You're not going to get on the show if you sexually harass people beforehand.
It's two dudes. And there's no sexual connotation to it whatsoever. I won't do it with the chick interview. I'm going to do it with the third interview.
Don't do it with any of the interviews. Do it when you're on the show. Just do it on the show. That's the point. You don't have to be naked outside the show.
Lucas said it was a good idea. Text him right now.
I texted him already.
Say, is it a good idea that John does the interview naked?
No, I said I think it's a bad idea that you do I want this to actually come to fruition. I think you are subconsciously trying to avert the reality in which you get on the show.
What I think is you don't understand reality TV.
You're trying to sabotage this.
No, I don't think you get reality TV.
Yeah, they don't want to see. They don't want to see the hijinks beforehand. They just want to see how crazy your personality is, which is plenty.
What's more crazier than me being naked and being me, dude?
Just being yourself is already such a winning.
Yeah, but naked
you don't need the
nuts.
hijinks. You can just be you.
I know. I'm hilarious
you.
as me. And that's the thing.
Exactly. So you don't need any other hijinks.
Did I tell you my other plans?
What?
So when I see the woman,
I feel really left out of this whole process, even though I started it all. Now you and Lucas are like talking and like I don't know what's going on.
On Instagram today, we have like a chat going on. It's fun.
What? What? Really?
I am on Instagram. We're like,
why am I not in this?
Because
I want to know what's happening. This is content for me. I didn't do this for anybody else.
So this is very fun. I'm gonna get dengue fever for this fucking pot.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to get Middle America.
He's trying to get jaundice and leprosy before he turns. I'm
trying to get Middle America to be aware of our podcasts, which is what this is
I would love that. Get the flyover states. Get them in here.
Viewers of Naked and Afraid are gonna see me in all my flat ass glory. When I walk off that trail and I have that like cloth bag on me,
amazing,
right? And I'm walking down that trail and my eyes see a female in the distance. And I'm not saying I don't like guys who refer to them as females. It's just weird to me. It's very like cholo-y.
But when I see the female, it's appropriate in this scenario. When I see the female, I'm just gonna start running at her full sprint.
Yeah, that's creepy and weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna run at her full sprint. Lucas thought that was a great idea. No one's ever done that before.
Lucas is. You could say that you're gonna set the whole fucking jungle on fire, and Lucas would be like, "That's awesome.
Yeah,
you should totally do that."
I'm gonna try.
That's how dejected all the casting directors are for reality shows. He's like, "Oh, you want to just be completely naked?" I was gonna say something else. It's YouTube. I can't.
I'm gonna piss in my mouth on the first day.
John.
How funny would that be?
Allegedly, and it's
survival, dude. It's not anything kinky. It's me doing it to survive. But how funny would that be if, like, day one, I'm just like, check it out.
I don't love that idea. In fact,
that'd be hilarious.
I don't know that you can handle yourself now after being told that you're going to do your third interview, your final interview. You're going to sabotage it by being naked in the interview. They don't want to see you naked. They want the audience to see you naked. They don't need to see you naked.
Well,
you can be plenty crazy without being fully nude.
What if I'm in a banana hammock?
Oh, what?
Like a thong, like a male thong.
Like a sumo wrestler, John?
No, like it's one of those cheetah print ones or something.
In fact, if you said you were going to dress like a sumo wrestler,
well,
if you're going to dress like,
maybe I should
Bobby
dress
Lee.
like Daniel Boone or something. Like I have animal skins and like a coonskin hat.
Yeah, that would rock. That's
or
brilliant.
Like that.
Yeah, get like a boa.
Maybe I do it in the jungle. I have to film myself at some point, like making a shelter in the woods.
They make you do that?
Yeah, I got to do like promo material.
How do you know? But
what
are their requirements?
They're already going to use the podcast for promo material.
What do you mean?
They're going to use you and me speaking as promo material.
Holy shit, really?
Yes.
How do you know this?
Because it was told to me.
Okay, you need to tell me everything that happened in this interview right now. I don't want you to leave a single thing out. Every detail.
I mean, like, is there anything in there? There was just a list of questions. That was a list of questions.
Okay, let's talk first interview with Lucas. How did that go? What happened?
Great, we got along. We're just two boys.
You said you talked for an hour. We
talked for like 2 hours
barely.
Today.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Just let him know about my life. We talked about Coachella. Kicked ass.
He was sending me videos of Rosalia and all my and
he's a great guy.
he
talked about like the hardest thing that's ever happened in my life, and I overcame that. And I was just like, I basically told him I have zero skills, but I'm the most determined person on earth, and I won't give up.
Okay.
I've pretty much also whoever's with me, I'm going to annoy.
Yeah.
Intensely.
True.
Like I'm like, if you stick me with if you stick me with a girl with BPD, I'm gonna try to fuck her.
Yeah.
If you stick
no
me with
blue hairs around this
I'm gonna
one.
try to fuck anyone I'm with. It could be like you give me like a 7-year-old woman. It's just gonna be funny.
Well, you're not gonna try to fuck them.
Yeah, why not?
Last episode, I said you're gonna try to fuck your partner. You said no.
I'm gonna try to romance the stone.
You romance the stone, yeah.
So I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna try to fuck anybody on national television. Maybe I will. Who knows?
If you get a lesbian, I think you'll try. Yeah.
The lesbian, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know.
I could turn her.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see who they stick me with. That's the thing. I told him I was like, I told him I was sexist.
Okay, cool.
What I said was, can I be sexist? And he was like, yeah. And I was like,
that's great. Yeah.
Just for this. I said, I don't. He's like, what are you going to bring? And I was like, I wanted to bring a do-rag. Or I wanted to bring just like a gallon of vodka.
You wouldn't even drink the vodka.
Yeah, I would. I would just be drunk for like 21 days.
Dude, John's gonna sneak in like little Debbie snacks in his fucking ass cheeks.
Brother, man, if they fucking, if my,
you're gonna have like a Swiss roll in your armpit.
I'll be real with you, dude. Like low key,
brownies.
Low key. If my partner brings a fire starter and I bring a gallon of vodka, we're good.
That's not true, John.
Just get the fire going, get the shelter built. You can make shelter with
You're
just
going to tap out day one.
No, I'll just be drunk the entire time.
It's not going to last you 21 days.
A gallon of vodka? Fuck yeah, it will.
Dude,
gallon of vodka?
Out of your fucking mind right now. You are
maybe
out
2
of
gallons
your
of vodka.
gourd.
Maybe I'll get like a 3-gallon.
This is how I know you're not taking this seriously at all.
No, I'm going to win.
John,
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
The delusions
I'm gonna win. Okay. But anyway, so the sexist thing. You weren't. If you were there for the interview, you wouldn't be speaking this way.
Well, somebody could have told me about the interview. I would have been there.
I know a bit. I was gonna tell you about it now. A lot
of good that does me.
Yeah. But my sexist thing is, I was like, I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna be the guy who brings the knife because I don't trust women to pick the right knife.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck with a Jodi Arias or something. You never know.
You want like one of those like half knife, half machetes, half axe knives. You know what I mean? But
not exactly.
There's like knives that have like a curved end for like cutting bark, and then they have like a saw on top that uses a saw, and then they have that's like also like for chopping.
I don't think you can like choose the knife you're gonna bring.
No, for sure you buy it. Buy your own knife.
Really?
Fuck yeah, dude. People bring slingshots and shit, which is retarded.
It's like BYOB, but
also, dude, I talked about this shit also.
Okay.
I was like, first you get shelter built. There was somebody in the YouTube comments that corrected me. My thing was fire first, then shelter.
Yeah,
no.
and Gretchen, actually, my friend Gretchen was calling you out. She's the one in Michigan, was telling me that you don't have to like season your wood for a year or some shit. You can like definitely.
Yeah, you can burn wood whenever you want, but the thing is the less it's seasoned, the harder it is to burn.
Well, whatever.
So,
I don't have any idea one way or the other.
I was at a campsite in Washington, and they just cut down some new green lumber is what it's called.
Oh God!
And
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, green lumber is what it's called, and everybody in the campsite was just stealing all this green lumber and trying to burn it, and it wouldn't burn. So,
I hate that.
And the guy who ran the campsite was like, these fucking idiot people from Seattle. They just think you could burn any wood, but this is we just cut this. It's got to wait.
Yeah, you can't just burn any wood.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course you can burn any wood, but it'll burn
dullards.
eventually. But built. So you get the shelter built, which is easy. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can do it in a couple hours. These guys build these intricate shelters. A raised bed.
Do you know how to do that though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I studied it all day. Okay.
Just one day.
Number two. What you do is you get fish or something from the sea or something from the river.
What if you don't have a really good water source? Some of these people don't have that.
You go downhill until you find like a dry creek bed, and then you go to the lowest point of the dry creek bed.
When the sun is out, and
you gotta
it's
boil
hot,
the water. I'll be fine, dude. Dude,
I've
been in jungles before, dude. How many jungles have you been in?
Just the jungle of my own mind. It's plenty.
Yeah, I've been in jungles in Africa and in fucking Asia,
oh,
dude.
good. You win this competition that doesn't exist.
I've been in jungles, dude.
I'm proud of the fact that I've never been in a jungle. In fact, if I had to list like some of my greatest accomplishments, it's having never found myself in a fucking jungle.
Exactly. So anyways,
with ticks, all over my body.
Yeah, you just get the shelter and you get the fire going, then you get the water source, and then you're like 70% there, bro. And then you just gotta kind of wander around.
I gotta ride it out.
You just gotta ride it out. You just keep the fire going. You just ride it out. No, the whole thing is who can take more pain. They have the dumbest, like in the survival packet. I
really think he's gonna get cast.
Dude, in the survival packet, like they in the survival packet, they like have this whole thing about like tripwires and snares. And I earnestly asked them, I was like, how many times has anyone caught a wild game with a tripwire snare?
Yeah, I've been wondering that for years.
None. It never works. These people have useless skills in the wild. Tripwires or snares, if you're like spending a winter in like a cabin somewhere, you would set up like 30 of them.
Let me tell you, half the journey is showcasing your personality disorder. That's half of this whole thing.
Yeah. No, I got that. I got that.
Put that on full display. All the other pieces will fall in place.
Yeah, I got that. I'm going to be there. And my personality disorder starts with me sprinting at the woman full speed, thinking it's funny. Thinking she'll enjoy that.
John, when the camera's on.
When the camera's on,
you'll know no bounds.
It's go, baby.
You'll know no bounds. In fact, you might actually have to be a little careful not to fully break the law while the camera's on, because that is evidence of a crime.
Yeah, I'm going to constantly drop the podcast. I'm going to constantly drop the podcast. I'm going to go, hey, watch podcast.
Yeah. Hello, what about this one? The one that got you on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I had an hour.
How about the one that got you on the fucking show? You didn't let me finish. I was going to hey, watch podcast, I had hour podcast. You should have said this one first. Seeing as where you are right now.
I'm going to do that.
I have created content for everybody, by the way.
I'm the one doing it.
Nobody thanks me.
I'm the one doing it.
Nobody cares about that, John. I put the whole plan in action.
That's insane. You sacks of shit. I'm literally risking
none
life
of us, and I want to be honest with you, John, and I say this with the utmost respect. None of us think you'll make it 2 days.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, this is going to be great. It's going to be so fun.
If you do make it like a certain number of days, I will be so fucking impressed and amazed.
Ida, do you understand? Like you guys always underestimate me. It's wild.
But because Sean, I think we actually, it's not that we underestimate your tenacity. I think you have plenty of that. We underestimate, frankly, your threshold for boredom.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna.
Well, that's why.
I think you're gonna get bored so fast. You're gonna start stealing phones from production and start texting us and saying, asking if you can come over, and you'll be in like Tanzania, and you'll like have no way of getting out of this situation. Like,
what if I just start acting? I could come up with dude. I'm gonna wake up every day and figure out a way to be the goofiest dude on planet Earth.
You know what you're gonna end up really doing? John's gonna go insane from starvation. He's gonna start befriending like 3 ladybugs. Okay,
yeah, that'd be fun. I'll have a Wilson
He'll like
ball.
refuse to eat these insects because they're gonna be his only friends. He's gonna fully create, like, you're gonna have a full on conversation with leaves.
Yeah.
Like, just to avoid having a single interaction with who I imagine will be a very mentally ill partner of yours.
What if I on the pod? Well, the other thing is they're
and you'll forget to plug the whole. Watch him forget to plug our show.
Well, they're looking for people who think the show is like bullshit to come on.
That's amazing. Break that fourth wall.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall in a way they're not expecting. They're expecting people to be like, "This is easy." Like shit like that, which is retarded.
Well, I don't know who would say that. It's certainly not easy.
Dumbasses. I'm gonna go on and question the show on like a sociological level.
Oh,
and be like, are you aware of what I'm doing right now?
Oh, you're gonna Stanford Prison Experiment them.
Yeah, I'm gonna Stanford
the way
Prison
they
Experiment
do to the Real World cast members. You're gonna do that to them.
I'm gonna look at the cameraman and be like, "Do you see how hungry I am? Do you like filming me like this?
Oh my god!
Do you like doing this?
Yes.
Do you enjoy this? Is this what brings you pleasure? Is this what brings you?" It's gonna be a real, like, it's gonna be real.
Oh,
like,
that's some meta. You're gonna do like a Harmony Korine movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Colonel Kurtz out there.
Holy shit!
I'm gonna be Colonel Kurtz out there.
Brilliant,
I'm gonna be
John.
Like,
keep going.
Little pile of arms and the camera, and I'm gonna be like in the darkness, covered in mud.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna try to become the most ridiculous version of myself. Like, I'm
gonna
gonna
go fully crazy.
Mud, naked, talking about the USS Liberty.
Right. Yeah.
In the woods.
You're gonna fake. You're gonna make up an entire alien abduction story while you're out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make up stories. I'm gonna make up jokes. I'm gonna make up only things relevant to me that I think is funny. I'm gonna laugh constantly at myself, and it's gonna be very fun.
John's gonna find a way to like play Pluto TV.
I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna keep telling them to keep the camera on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it on me.
Oh my god.
Okay, keep it on this.
You start moving it towards you.
Yeah, I'll be like, it'll be like, time for my close up, Mr. DeVille. As I'm clawing naked through the woods, just going like, is this what you like?
Dude, you're gonna charm a production assistant or something, and they're gonna feed you.
Oh yeah,
John's gonna come out of there third week, and he's gonna have not lost a single pound. Yeah, everyone's gonna know what happened.
Week 2, they're gonna be like, "What are all these Domino's boxes doing in the corner of the shelter?" And I'm gonna be like, "Shut up, they're kindling."
He's such a slob; he won't even get rid of the evidence. He'll leave the cookie boxes out there for all to see.
Yeah, it'll be great.
He's got no respect for anybody.
I'm gonna lose a lot of weight.
It's great. It's honestly incredible. This is perfect for Thinspo John. Like, this is perfect for Thinspo John.
I've lost 7 pounds.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep calling everyone in the crew sickos. I'm gonna be like, "You're a real sick puppy right now. You like looking at me like this, huh?"
Oh my
god! Is this what you, I'm gonna act like it's kinky and sexy.
Oh yeah,
like, Is this what you like?
Try
you
to
like
seduce
dirty
them.
monkeys?
Ooh,
I'm gonna spread my asshole for them.
Oh god. Allegedly.
And I'm just gonna do gross stuff.
Please don't be too gross, because like, you are representing us at the end of the day, and I can't defend what most of you. I don't watch the shows, so I don't know what you guys do on these shows. I don't want to know. I'm happy not knowing. Love not knowing. I imagine there's a lot that's said and done that I wouldn't like.
What I'm worried about is like, what if the woman I'm sprinting at and she stands her ground?
I don't know that you should sprint at the woman.
Should I sprint at the woman? I think that's great.
You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that's probably not the best idea.
It'd be funny. It would get her to hate me immediately.
Like on a legal basis.
No, legally that's fine. I'm just sprinting at her. Chasing women's legal.
And you probably want to befriend the person who likely knows more about survival than you do. That's all.
Well, they don't have a choice. They have to make the fire. They don't have a choice.
Yeah, but they do have a choice of like not sharing their berries with you, when they not sharing their findings from foraging.
I don't need them.
Not sharing their knowledge on plant science and whatever. Like,
yeah, what if I'm crawling on all fours a lot?
John, You're not making a porn here, okay?
Yeah, I'm like-
John thinks he's like making his debut into porn. This is not Red Rocket.
I think what's
You're
gonna-
not Sean Baker.
What's gonna happen is it's gonna be a very normal Naked and Afraid, but just with a hint of me, and it's gonna be I'm gonna get naughty.
John, I think you have to be. Oh shit!
I'm gonna tell them. This is
leave
what's
that
gonna be
on.
playing in my head the entire time I'm on Naked and Afraid. Is this kind of like ambient music?
Did you fart again?
No, that might. No.
Is it residual?
It might have been.
Holy
I
shit!
dragged the
It's
smell.
so crazy. You know what? You don't even have to do anything to get your partner to hate you. Your body will do all of that for
Well,
you.
you just stop shitting after a while because you're not eating anything.
I think you could find a way to keep that going.
Find a way to shit.
Yeah, you'll start. Yeah, I mean it's really crazy how much you said it before. I'll say it again. Your asshole's a Keurig.
Yeah, I just hope I don't get like I told him I was like, don't stick me with some dumb bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Don't stick me like a dumb bitch.
I mean, good luck. Anyone
like-
who's going on that show is kind of a dumb bitch,
Don't-
unless they're really good at it.
Don't stick
then they're
me with like a little lady that's gonna start fainting. That's annoying.
okay. It's not our fault sometimes that we faint.
Yeah, you guys are retarded.
Women be fainting.
women be
Like
fainting.
it just is what it is. I'm sorry. Sometimes you just have to like clutch your pearls and fall to the floor.
Yeah. I'm gonna find food. I'm gonna build a shelter. Building a debris hut is what it's called.
A debris hut.
Debris hut.
I want to know what you talked about with Lucas. I'm a little annoyed that you had this conversation without me.
Dude, it's my fucking thing.
It's our life. It's my whole
No,
idea.
you
I
opened the
created
door.
this. I
You
did not
opened
open
the
the
door.
door.
You
I am
opened
the
the
door.
door.
I
Yeah.
am Queens Boulevard.
Whatever. You opened the door and I walked through and I went bye bye. Let me
A
run.
little fucked up to do that when I've
Maybe you should go on Naked and Afraid.
no, I don't
Exactly,
hate
then
myself
shut
nearly
up.
enough. No, okay, hold on. So what did you talk to Lucas about for 3 hours now? You've
Like
done
our
3
lives. Like I talked about like tough times in my life and how I don't go outdoors at all. How I like hiking.
What do you mean you do go outdoors all the time? You're here right now.
No, I mean like I don't like fucking camp.
Yeah,
know what I
you just
mean?
talk about it all the
Like
time.
I'll be fine. It's something I want to do.
oh god.
I was like, every time I started like almost getting into camping, it would like stop. You
Yeah,
know?
you talked to me so I assumed you were like an avid camper because you talk about it
I've
constantly.
done it more than like most
Dude,
people.
I'm doing a show with George Santos.
Yeah, it kicks ass. I'm like the
Did
I'm
your
like the
mom die
survivalist
in
George
9/11?
Santos. Yeah, she died in 9/11.
Did the ash cloud come up? What did he say? He said something about the ash cloud.
I'm gonna talk about 9/11 a lot.
No, I love that.
I'm
Do that
going
all
to-
day.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like,
Go in there and talk about the prison industrial complex.
yeah, I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna constantly talk about hot button issues.
Yes.
I'm gonna be like drag queens. I'm gonna be covered in shit and mud,
Naked, talking about drag queen
Dude,
story
you should
hour.
be covered in shit and mud and then go shit on like the unhoused population and be like, or advocate for them. Do one or the other. Do something crazy.
I'm just gonna like. Yeah, I'm just gonna be covered in
Conduct
shit
like
and mud and
surgery
talk
on
about,
yourself or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about how
Do
like
something innovative.
I'm just gonna be like, dude, what happened to the gold standard? As I'm covered in shit and mud.
Yeah,
I'm
as you're
sitting on
eating
a
a
log.
scorpion and like contracting,
A
scarlet fever.
A scorpion's in my mouth and its stinger's hitting my face while I'm talking about
the Abu Ghraib.
yeah,
I'm gonna be like Abu Ghraib. Donald
Yeah.
Rumsfeld. He tried to resign.
Right,
and
right.
Bush wouldn't let him.
Talk about aspartame.
What's up with that?
Talk about the creation of aspartame.
Aspartame. It gives you rashes.
Donald Trump created it.
gonna
Or
be
not,
like,
sorry,
yeah.
Donald Rumsfeld.
The point is, I have to be myself. I have to be that so often that they have no choice but to use it.
Because it's gonna be so. I mean,
Yeah, of
it's so edited.
course.
It's 21 days of footage. It's gonna be so edited down.
Yeah.
Like there's a
You just have to
possibility.
make every moment count with
Yeah, there's
everything
a
you say.
possibility. It's a marathon, not a race. There's a possibility
Yeah, true,
that
true
they
that.
could edit it to make me look completely normal because they just have like video of me walking. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think that they. I think the editor's gonna have a real tough time making you look that normal, and I think that's a great thing, like for us and for you.
yeah,
So what else did you guys talk about? You say you talked about your life. What did he say? What did he talk about?
He just like asked me a series of questions that were given to me beforehand that I prepped for.
What are some of them?
I can pull them up.
Yeah, let's pull them up.
So yeah, we have a little.
And you
step
said
by
you
step
sent me a survival kit. And
packet. Yeah, packet. See, survival packet. Get it right.
right, get it tight.
Let's see. Oh God. Oh hey, I got the email from the from them right now. Hi, John. Congrats on moving forward Naked and Afraid casting process. We're so excited to have a badass like you on board.
Oh, cool.
2 hours. Please allow 2 hours to the process. The camera setup may take up to an hour, and the actual interview lasts around an hour as well. Please make sure you're alone. Oh, damn it. In a quiet, well-lit place. How to put up your filming devices?
Yeah, I mean, if you make yourself naked alone and you talk to them, you're out of your mind.
Wait, what? I need to like use your camera, dude.
What do you mean? What? Why not? Just use your laptop or FaceTime or something, right?
Oh God, I have to like wear. They have like a thing I have to like wear.
What do you have to wear?
Wear your best outdoors clothing, activewear, but show off some of your personal style too. Hair and face natural but well groomed. Framing. Make sure there's good light on your face and you're well lit. Have a blank background.
Yeah, make sure that we can fully objectify you and see if we're about it.
Oh, I need to like film myself. I need to use like a laptop and my phone.
Yeah. When is this interview?
I need 30 or more photos of you doing survival outdoorsy activities and some with family friends.
Shit, you don't have anything like that, huh? 30 photos? That's a little ridiculous.
Wait, I'm gonna text Lucas about this shit. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
Bro, this sucks. He's not gonna get on now. I guess I could take pictures of you outside.
Oh, from this point on, please do not post anything about your involvement in the Naked and Afraid casting process on social media.
Well, that's the easiest part. We just won't talk about it.
I'm gonna bring.
I've only posted, I don't know, 18 stories about it.
I mean, the confidentiality agreement of your application. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, Lucas. I'm gonna talk to Lucas tomorrow about this.
Yeah, Lucas didn't. Yeah, Lucas reposted our video. He took a video of our podcast talking about it. So I don't think he gives a shit. I mean, they were looking at his Instagram. I imagine.
Let's see. Okay, so this is the questions. Okay, this is the questions. Let's see. Best of luck. We're rooting for you.
Yeah. 30 photos. That's outrageous. I don't have 30 photos of myself doing anything, let alone fucking,
Do you have any physical and mental conditions that make me not able to do 21 days? Do you have any recent injuries or illnesses? Tons. Not a deal breaker because everyone makes mistakes. But is there anything embarrassing in your past we should know about? I told him I'm highly cancelable. Just like highly.
That's a good thing. I think that
highly, but he said like it's like felonies.
Oh, yeah. That's not, we don't have that issue, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not a felon. A couple misdemeanors. All right. A couple misdemeanors. All right.
What did you fart in an officer's face?
No, an officer farted on me once. Did I tell you about this? I was at a 7-Eleven and a cop farted on me.
Like on you?
Yeah, I was at the ATM and he passed by me and went, and I heard him and I was like, holy fuck. And he was like 6'3". And I was like, dude, what are you gonna do? Felt so helpless.
How do you think I feel?
Yeah.
How do you think I feel? Surrounded by a fucking
primitive. I told him primitive fire building is horseshit. Okay, you're fucked if you have to make a fire bow.
Got rid of that sound. What are you talking about? Make a fire bow?
You don't know what we're talking about. You don't even know what we're talking about.
What the hell's a fire bow?
Look it up.
Do you know, John? Are you asking me to look it up because
it looks like
you
a
don't
bow?
know?
It looks like a bow, and there's a string like a bow and arrow, and you take a stick and you like go like that with it, and so the string loops around the stick, and then you move the bow, and the stick moves really fast, and then you put it on a dry piece of wood, and you drill kind of with the stick, and eventually it makes a charcoal that you put in a bird's nest, which is like a thing that like has like a lot of like tinder in it, and you just like blow on it until the fire breathes to life. If I have to do that, I'm dead. If I have to do that, I'm fucking dead.
Why?
Because people who know how to do that are dudes that like live in the Sentinel Islands that have done that since they were born. Like people who, if you look at people, how quick some people can start primitive fires, it's kind of amazing. It's years of practice.
There's a lot of people that can't do it even with the fire starter.
Yeah,
so I understand that this is a.
I think I'm just gonna get a bunch of footage of me like rolling around in the woods.
Yeah, do you want me to like film you at Griffith Park or something? I'll take you a bunch of photos of you.
Yeah.
We could do like a little mini photo shoot, and then we could just pretend we don't. Although we'd have to get like equipment from REI, that's just gonna be expensive. Tents are not cheap. I remember buying a tent with. We were like filming a sketch a long time ago, and
what's my relationship status? They're like, what do you look up for in a romantic partner? And
dude,
I told them what?
I said dude.
A dude. I told them someone who would who doesn't mind an extremely small penis.
Oh God! I told you're doing a little dicky campaign.
Loyalty.
How about that for all three answers?
Yeah,
loyalty.
Just a bunch of just stupid stuff.
Well, so why do they want to know what you look for in a partner?
Because they're gonna try to like, they might try to find someone that like they want. Or like this guy might fuck this chick.
Yeah, they're like matchmakers, low key. Like they really are. They arrange marriages essentially.
I'm gonna keep asking the woman I'm with to get that stank.
Excuse me. What? Come
like,
again?
let me get that stank because
I don't know what that means. I don't like that. I don't enjoy that turn of phrase. I don't like what you just said. Although I would like you to explain it to me. What does that mean?
It's just like they're stinky. It's
God,
been like 2
John.
weeks. I'm gonna let me get that stank.
Don't say that again, please.
And then
God damn it.
I'll have the gallon of wine or whatever I bring or vodka.
John's gonna show up with like Pringles and Chianti, and he's gonna like wonder why they don't let him.
I'm gonna
into
get the pizza flavored Pringles. I'm gonna sit there and be like, "You wish."
Well, you know what John would do is he would bring Starbucks for the whole crew, which would immediately get them on his side.
Oh yeah,
okay?
I'd show up and I'd be like, "I had this shit flown in."
Yeah, he would show up with like Domino's or something. It's a thought that counts, right?
Yeah.
And it goes a long way. And you do be doing that. You do be.
Yeah, I got a day with the crew. Probably at a hotel before we go out. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, you have to charm everybody.
I'm going to begin
from the start.
I guarantee you, me walking into those woods naked to meet that person, I'm gonna be hungover as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be so hungover. I'm gonna be like, you. We're going out. We're in Panama or Africa, where the fuck we are.
Right.
And I hope they send me to Africa. That'd be so sick.
You've already been to Africa.
I know, but like that's wild, bro.
It'd be cool if they sent you to like South America or like.
No, they always send people like Costa Rica, and it's like, dude, that's too close.
Rocks.
Send me to fucking Nam, dude. I'll live out there in the jung.
The jung?
Yeah,
dude. This is, I don't know, John. I'm starting to have some reservations here about this.
You're a dipshit. You have no faith. I'll be fine.
Well, I don't know that they're going to hire you now because they don't hire you, cast you, because they don't have like you're doing a job. Why are they
hiring me? I get a stipend.
But
I'll
you
be
can't.
fine.
You can only fake your survivalist shtick for so long before they realize like you don't know what you're doing.
There's been guys on there that know nothing. You know.
There been.
Yeah, there was like the guy in Africa. He was like, I know nothing about survival.
Really?
He like showed up there and told the woman, and she was like, okay, I'll be fine.
What happened?
He like built a shelter and was like fine. It's a lot of it's like basic, like, you know, like fucking
John,
shit.
it's not just something you figure out. It's
Dude,
not
if
like
it was 3 months,
it's not like a
it's
think
one
on
thing.
your
Dude,
feet situation.
It's 3 weeks, bro. It's
a
not
long
crazy,
time
dude.
to survive.
That's not crazy. I can lay down and drink water for 3 weeks. I would be in immense pain, but I would live.
You would have jaundice.
I can fight that.
You
pain.
would have
jaundice. How would I have jaundice?
That
what
guy
am I doing?
we were watching
he
upstairs,
ate a
he
mushroom
got-
like a retard.
Okay, but whatever. You're gonna get hungry. You're gonna do crazy shit when you're hungry, and then you might contract
I'm gonna be kooky.
like, huh?
I'm gonna be kooky.
You're gonna get really hungry way quicker than you ever expected. Luckily, you have a little meat on your bones, so you'll be okay
Yeah,
in
I'll be
that
good.
regard. But I don't know, John.
I'll be good.
You're going to be so weak, you're not even going to have any energy left to like sexually harass somebody.
Yeah, I'll just like.
then what good will that
I
do
would
us
have to be. I'm gonna
content-wise?
have to be like literally on the edge of death to not sexually harass people.
God damn. He's not a sexual harasser. We're just
Not at all. Not at
joking.
all.
We're just joking.
I also don't have a tiny penis, but I told the guy that just for the record up to everybody.
So you've spoken to somebody other than Lucas or just Lucas so
Just
far?
Lucas, but I have an interview with another guy on Monday.
Is he going to be there for that interview, or is it just going to be you and that
no,
guy?
it's both guys.
Lucas and somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay. So is he, how far up the totem pole is he for this?
He's like the main casting guy, and then
Seriously?
the next one, then I have one more interview, and then they decide. They have a meeting, and they decide who's going to be on the season, and then if I get decided, then I'll which I will.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I will be filming. I'll be out of here late summer.
Holy shit, this is really coming together.
Yeah.
Should I do it?
No,
Nah.
you wouldn't last. You would tap out in fucking 3 hours.
Yeah, but I'd get my face on there for a minute. Yeah, I mean, I would literally like have zero intention on
you'd
following
walk in
through with
there
this. I'd
and-
walk in there, I'd be like, this is really cute. Snap a couple pictures of the landscape for my Instagram,
You don't
and then
have fucking your
out.
camera. You're done. The one thing I'm worried about is no
I'd
nicotine.
sneak it in. The
But I'll
one thing
live.
you're worried about is no nicotine.
Yeah, what if my luxury item's a packet of Zins?
Oh my god.
Just fucking tuck it out there.
Yeah, fucking tuck it up. I mean,
It'll be
this
fun.
is gonna be a good time. I think you're gonna do okay. I think you might actually get on there.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the aliens really fast for
Okay,
Tucker
yeah,
because we pulled it up. So Tucker
But
Yes,
Friday I can be here.
Perfect. We'll do 2 then.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Tucker talking about our lovely men in green, and we're talking about, of course, about our aliens.
You just got so obsessed with.
Well, UFOs for sure.
Yeah, let's talk some aliens.
Because
Okay,
UFOs.
buddy.
Why UFOs and when?
I'll tell you
But
why.
no,
It's actually the same
let's
reason
talk
I was
aliens
interested in
for sure.
Epstein. Because I'm like a completely conventional person. Like I worked at CNN. I spent a season doing commentary and analysis for Good Morning America. I lived in Washington from the age of 15. My dad worked for the federal government. Like I am not an outsider, like believing that fluoride is causing brain damage, whatever. Like I've never believed in a conspiracy theory my entire life. I lived in Washington. And it was only in the past 5 years when all this evidence would, but I'm curious, all this evidence would emerge. And I'd be like, well, that's not true. It doesn't seem true to me. Like I don't know what the truth is, but I can tell when someone's lying. It's like my one gift. And I would see these people lying and I'd be like, why are they lying? Like I know they're lying, but why? And so I really came to this like at the age of 50. Like that's, you're almost dead when you're 50. Like that's very late.
He's 50.
What was it?
Well, keep playing. It's great.
Some of their files on UFOs and
Okay, yeah. You're...
the Pentagon was required by the last Defense Authorization Bill.
What was it that made you?
Sorry.
Well, UFOs, like I never for a second thought UFOs.
But what changed your attitude at 50?
The evidence.
Which is what?
Well, oh my gosh. At this point, it's kind of come out actually. The Pentagon was required by the last Defense Authorization Bill to like produce some of their files on UFOs, and it turns out they have known about this since the end of the Second World War, which ended in 1945. Been a huge increase during the war as well. Huge increase in UFO sightings, in UFO crashes, et cetera, et cetera. And it turns out the federal government has been tracking this for 80 years and lying about it. So why? Well, that's a great question, and I can't answer it. I have theories, but I don't know. But here's what I learned. The first question is this real? Or am I just being a crazy person who's spending too much time on the internet? Well, this summer, we got a call. We didn't reach out. This person called us. Lexi, who's standing right there.
This is pretty fucking crazy.
Genius, one of our producers, gets his call from this guy who's a tenured Stanford medical school professor. And he wants to come on the show. Now, this guy has a couple patents.
Shit's
and
crazy.
So he's rich.
Yeah.
And he's got tenure at one of the most prestigious schools in the world. So, like, he's not a flake.
Yeah.
He comes on and he's like, 11 years ago, the U.S. government reached out to me because I'm an expert on head injuries, on brain injuries, traumatic brain injuries, as a physician. And they had all these court cases from families of U.S. servicemen, over 100, who'd been killed by UFOs.
Whoa.
And the Department of Defense was refusing to give them death benefits or medical benefits. And I'm like, and he's like, so they're in the courts. And I was like, there are over 100 servicemen killed by UFOs? Like, what? He's like, yeah. And there are court cases about it. I'm like, why isn't this on the front page of the New York Times? I don't know. But he goes, I'm involved in it. I'm one of the researchers. I'm the expert witness in these cases. Holy shit. What does that mean? And he's like, for example, UFOs appear to be attracted for whatever reason to nuclear energy. So at nuclear missile bases in the upper Midwest, for example, nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, nuclear-powered submarines are all getting buzzed by these objects, including underwater. And in a number of cases, these things have landed on military bases, including famously in Germany, in West Germany in the 70s. And servicemen have approached them. Like, what is this thing? There's this like giant glowing thing on the base.
Yeah.
And they approach and they get traumatic brain injury. Like they are rendered. Like, they get brain damage or they're killed. And he studied their brains. And they have, this is all totally real. This is the Department of Defense, dude. And they've all had this damage from some kind of powerful energy that we cannot identify. So then this guy's like, wow, he's just a scientist. He never believed in UFOs. He's like, this is real. I cannot believe this is real. This is like crazy. He should start to do research on it. He's still at Stanford. And it turns out that actually, yes, these things have been shot down and crashed, and the U.S. government has the wreckage, and it's being held by defense contractors, Raytheon, Lockheed, which are big independent companies, but that work for the U.S. government. They're really part of the Department of Defense, but they're separate. So you can't, their sunshine laws don't apply to them. You can't actually get information from them. It's a very tricky way to hide information. And they have the wreckage from these crafts. And I'm like, really? Are we positive these aren't like advanced Russian
really
or Chinese?
crazy.
No.
Oh shit! This isn't it.
So is it more like the
Keeps
government
going.
or whatever is just this good at hiding it, or people just don't care?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. I think it's too big for people to metabolize. Like,
True.
if Prince Harry says something stupid, everyone's like, I can't believe Prince Harry. Because, like, that's manageable. You can, like, oh, this douchey fake prince with his stupid wife from Santa Monica. Like, I get that. But the idea that we're not alone in the universe and we're getting buzzed by these objects whose behavior defies physics, like, that just explodes too many categories in my head. I just can't deal with it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's part of it.
It's so true.
But I'll tell you
So
this,
true,
the most
King.
interesting from my perspective, I don't know if it's a consensus, but a lot of people, serious people, not crazy people, who study this stuff, U.S. government employees, seem to believe that these objects are coming from under the oceans. So the conventional view is they're coming in from outer space. There's not actually a lot of, something enters the atmosphere, we can see it on satellite, and there's not any evidence of that, actually. Maybe it's happening, but we don't know that it is. There's a lot of evidence these things are coming out of the ocean, including videotape of these objects coming out of the water at high speed, or even more amazing, descending at Mach 3 into the water. And then, of course, we have a huge submarine fleet. What the fuck? Then we have a huge submarine fleet, American, but also Chinese and Russian, underwater with pretty sensitive measurement devices, sonar, etc. And they have recorded these objects doing hundreds of knots underwater. So, like, let's just stop there.
Wait, what's knots?
It's 1.1 miles per hour.
Buddy,
the
it's
way
a
that we
unit of
measure
measurement.
objects in the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's 1.1 miles. It's a little more than mile
Sorry,
per
I
hour.
like
and
that,
a
boys.
mile is a measurement that we use in the United States.
Right.
It's distinct from a kilometer,
still
which
learning.
I think is right.
Yeah.
Common in
Oh, he's
Canada. But anyway,
Canadian. He's Canadian.
these things are moving at impossibly high speeds. So just like, let's just apply common sense for 1 second. If I take a 45 ACP, a 45 caliber handgun and fire it at you underwater in, say, a swimming pool, 50 feet away, you can catch the bullet because the resistance is so strong
Tucker's
from the
gun
water
corner.
that objects can't move that fast underwater. We know that. But they are, and they're moving without any visible means of propulsion. So no wake, no bubbles.
Where have we like tracked that?
All over the
speed?
world. All over the world.
Really?
Yes.
On like sonar systems?
Yes, from the submarines. And this has come out. Like,
Wow.
some of this is in the New York Times.
That's
It's
crazy.
not like you have to go on the dark web to find out.
I love his face.
So is there like aliens are living in the Earth's core or some shit?
I have no idea. I don't mean to be speculating, but there is, I want to restate, videotape of these objects of unknown origin hitting the water and disappearing and then coming out of the water. And by the way, there was just last week, I spoke to a member of Congress about this who was on a military base in the state of Florida where they showed him images of 4 of these things that, like a Raptor pilot, some American fighter pilot, took these images of these objects right next to his plane. But here's the most interesting thing. They got a thermal read on him. They measure heat. That's one of the ways that, we get a heat imprint. Like, if we have a thermal optic, I can see the heat coming off your body. That's how we see things at night.
Yeah.
The thermal imaging of this showed the heat at the bottom of the object and not at the top. And as the commanding general said to this member of Congress, he's like, that doesn't make any sense because heat does what? It rises. So you don't ever see a thermal image of anything with the heat at the bottom. The heat's at the top. Is cool at the top, hot at the bottom? How does that work? If I put a cigarette lighter under my hand, where's the hot part?
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, as a matter of physics, that can't happen. So to me, one of the most intriguing questions about all of this is, does physics actually describe the world around us? And no, not all of it anyway. So like, what the fuck is that? Like, if all of a sudden I'm saying like the laws of physics, like gravity, photosynthesis, like not all of that is real. Like, it has limits and there are things that exist outside of it. That's when your brain starts to explode.
I just wonder what would happen if something does come out, more evidence does come out, how the people would respond to
We'll
that.
We'll ignore it. So my impression, I don't know this for a fact, but everyone I've ever talked to about it is like, one of the reasons they're nervous is that this shows, and the Russians and Chinese feel the same way apparently, it shows that our military does not control our airspace, which is like a basic precept of a country. Like, this is our country, we control our borders, we control our airspace and our waters, and we don't. So that's really scary, and it shows that the military is not in control. So they don't want to admit that. And the second thing they're worried about is some kind of like mass freak out where people are like, I can't believe aliens are here. But based on my limited experience, I don't think they should worry because people are so high and so caught up in Prince Harry.
So
like,
true.
I honestly think if an alien spacecraft landed in Times Square and started issuing orders, people would be like, wow, that's a trip, man. And then like the next day, Daily Mail would be leading with Prince Harry again. I do think that.
Yeah. So what's your theory on aliens based on all the research you've done? Do you think they're already on Earth?
I think that there's a huge amount of evidence in the archaeological record that these things have been around since the beginning of recorded history.
Yeah,
references to them. The Star Over Bethlehem may be one of them. Here's what I really think. I think I don't know. And I think that wise people understand the limits of their knowledge and of their perception. And we should all just repeat after me, admit we have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
We have no fucking idea. We don't know who killed Jeffrey Epstein. We don't know what these objects are. We don't know if physics is actually real. Probably not. Like, we don't know anything. We don't know what happens when we die. Like, stop pretending. We don't know where the war in Ukraine is going. Stop pretending that we're God. We're not. And we don't know a lot. And I just wish our leaders would say that. I think they're coming from under the ocean. It seems the evidence.
I think
they what do I know?
What would
So like the big theories are the nuclear. So like the reason they started showing up in the World War II a lot more is because nuclear detonations are easily detectable from outer space.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a good indicator of where a society is technologically. And then that's probably, they're like, oh, like the turkey's ready. Let's fucking check them out. You know what I mean?
Okay, but then that implies
done.
that they're fully sentient beings. Like,
they probably very quickly established or had established underwater bases because that's an environment that's completely inhospitable to us, and it's a great way to stay unknown. That I don't think there's some Atlantean
couldn't they just
society.
camp out above our airspace in a way that we can't detect them just as easily as they could
gonna,
underwater? Or no?
It's just going to get harder and harder because we don't have satellites underwater.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our ability to detect.
We have sonar systems, though.
Yeah, but it's like our
pipelines.
We just think there's nothing under there. That could be that's a safer place to be is under the ocean than in our airspace. Because
well, I guess if you're under the ocean, it's fully undetectable because it's way.
There's no people with cell phones. There's nothing. There's
we're
no
talking
satellites.
Beneath the ocean, right? But we're talking beneath the ocean floor, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking in the water subway level. We're talking.
No, we're talking
under the ocean floor.
Under the sea.
The nuclear weapons thing, either they're trying to keep us from self-immolating, or another thing I heard is nuclear.
What do you mean? Trying to keep us from
ourselves.
How? Based off of what?
From mutually assured destruction. They're trying to keep us from. There's been reports of UFOs flying around missile tests and actually disabling the missile.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, why do they want that?
Now,
is that to enslave us? I guess we'll
two reasons.
Defer back to Tucker's point, which is that we don't know,
ourselves.
But if we have to speculate.
Or actually, nuclear detonations actually really, really fuck up their ability to maneuver.
How?
Because nuclear detonations actually work on like an atomic level and will disrupt the dimensions around like the
I see.
It actually because
does that have ripple effects on the universe or like the galaxy or is it just affecting us? Okay.
So it seems like
we can't certainly be the first planet to come up with these nuclear weapons. Yeah. So have these aliens just gone around policing other planets and make sure that they don't have nuclear? I mean, it's a start.
They might be
your brain starts to explode.
Beings. They might be interdimensional beings.
Now,
they may
I don't
be
even
from
know what
this dimension.
Now, I talk about interdimensions all the time, but I'm no physicist. I don't really understand what that even fully means.
We have our universe. They may be from another universe.
Okay, but so each dimension is one universe or one galaxy or one.
No,
I mean, what
universe? All the galaxies in our dimension is everything.
Yeah,
everything in outer space is our dimension. They may be from a completely separate dimension, and us detonating nuclear weapons may be.
That is kind of what I figured it was. Ever since I was a little kid, and I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and she would like enter different dimensions.
And with string theory and all that shit, but and also it's very apparent that they have the ability to start and stop time.
That
based on how their ships
incredible. That is just...
They have the ability to manipulate time within a small area
and that's how they maneuver their ships so quickly.
That is so cool.
We've thought about that. We don't have
we don't have the
capability because the power source would have to be so immense. But the thing is like,
right.
I saw when I was a kid, I was reading a magazine or a book or something, and they have created theoretical spaceships that could operate under such stress of like time moving. The propulsion theory would be that time moves like quicker at the front of the ship than it does at the rear of the ship. So you're essentially like, you don't have to go faster than the speed of light. You're now moving through time. And like, time gets weird in outer space.
Yes.
When you're moving faster in light speed, time gets strange.
You start bending.
No, you don't start bending.
I'm saying you start bending what our understanding is of the laws of physics. Really, again, like he said, they don't really exist. I mean, not in the way that we know them to.
We're reading The Cat in the Hat, and they got a Stephen King novel. That's what it is. The laws of physics exist.
They've got a Tolstoy novel.
Yeah, the laws of physics exist. They've just figured it out better than us.
No, I mean it's actually terrifying when you think about it. But you know what? I don't know what it is about this topic, John.
What?
It deeply comforts me. Is that odd?
I think it's. I'm not uncomfortable with it. I think
I was so stressed about YouTube. I mean, I did just take a hit of not a drug, whatever. So I feel a little leveled out. But also the thought of something being so much bigger than us, especially when you're not, like, I'm not subscribing to any, like, religion, really. Mm-hmm. So this idea that there is something bigger than us, like aliens, is actually deeply comforting. So I'm like, oh, at least somebody figured it out. At least somebody figured out how to, like, make everything keep going. Because we can't seem to figure out how to do that. Like, we're on our way out one way or another. But they've come to a conclusion. Like, they've figured out a way to achieve longevity in a way that I think is, like, so foreign to us because we just keep destroying each other.
Well, the sad thing about, and I would not be surprised to find that if there were aliens out there, right? And they were little grays, and we're ignoring the Travis Walton kind of depiction of little grays being kind of like almost like animatronic beings, and there's actually a deeper society behind them with the Aryan, the taller aliens.
I'm sure it's much deeper than any of those even,
I wouldn't be surprised if they're all just kind of like autistic and void of culture. I wouldn't be with where AI is going today with us. It's kind of destroying art. I wouldn't be surprised if 100 or 500 years in the future we are kind of void of anything but I
think we're a lot closer than that even.
Function.
500
and it's kind of like if you study the singularity, you study all these theories, and it's like blah 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 blah. But it's like they may. But on the other hand, there is a kindness and a forward-thinkingness to achieving that level of technology.
How is there a kindness?
So
that's interesting.
when Babylon was erected, right? It was a very savage ancient society, but there had to be rules in place for society to exist, right? You couldn't just, before Babylon was constructed, we were all just a roving group of, like, I think Babylon was the first society, and we were just a roving group of, people. You could pretty much just rape and kill whoever you wanted. There wasn't law. And then when you had society come along, then there was law. You had to have, if we're all going to live together, and money is now a thing, and there's no longer just like a bartering society, all these rules come into place. And if you look at the course of human history, things have become more and more and more and more peaceful and in a certain direction, right? We actually live right now at the safest time in human history. We aren't far away from the most dangerous time in human history, which was World War II. That was the largest death toll ever.
Well, we do have nuclear capabilities now that
exactly.
I think actually would say we don't live in the safest time. Just by that.
I'm saying
fact.
I'm saying 100 years ago, you would have essentially no rights.
Yeah. Again, we're talking on an individual basis. I'm talking on a collective basis.
100 years ago, like I could beat you up and get away with it.
Yeah, that's me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the human race, right? So on an individual basis, yes.
On an individual basis,
no rights, but they don't care about individual basis. I'm talking about like the ability of the human race to continue. Yeah. I don't think at this rate, and certainly not with these findings, like, again, it will either be, and I assume the aliens and whatever, again, hard to assume something like this, but I assume they have already far past whatever technological innovations we've made. And so I'm sure they know what path we're on or what track we're on. I don't know if they're just monitoring or if they're, like what you're saying, intervening in certain like nuclear situations. But let's see if he has one more thing to say.
Encounter look like if you met an alien?
Oh, shut up.
But the
I'd be super respectful, and based on my conversation with this Stanford medical professor, I would conduct that interview at a distance because whatever is coming off these machines. Is very. I
love how seriously he takes it. I would conduct the interview.
Bad for the human body. Super killed people, like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
By the way, last thing, how can something kill an active duty U.S. serviceman or several of them, and like that's not a story?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with the media?
Was there any reason as to why they died?
Yeah, they were.
What was the official reason?
An EMP. Oh, aneurysm, they had a stroke, but their brains were fried. And the Department of Defense was screwing the families because they refused to acknowledge that they were killed by these objects, whatever they are. And that was the whole point of the story. It's like these families like, no, my son or husband is dead. Yeah, but I'm just like, what? Why has the New York Times never written that story in 50 years? Like, I've spent my whole life in the media. My dad was in the media. Like, that is a big part of the revolution that's changed my life is the media are part of the control apparatus. Like,
So, I mean, honestly, we've already talked about this interview before, but it is phenomenal. I mean, he really... If he had a podcast, I would be listening.
Yeah.
I would be. And
the scariest thing, I brought this up before too. It's like, fuck these guys who got killed in front of us. Think about the people who were taken and haven't come back. So there's a part of me that thinks like, yes, they're very kind, and in order to reach that level of technology, they have to be peaceful people, because warlike people don't last very long.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
But we're a warlike civilization.
But what if they are robotic in a sense, and then that's what allows them to be unemotional and well, I'm just saying if they've I think you might be equating robotics with peacefulness, which I think it actually might be that they just lack the emotions, which both makes the human race fallible but also human. They obviously lack that. That's why they've continued in this evolution, technological evolution. Again, this is all speculation, but again, like you said, you don't get that far being, emotional and killing each other and whatever. So they might just be literal robots that have actually just evolved to what they are now.
Yeah, like, you can't convince me that someone hasn't been abducted by aliens in history and hasn't been taken up into a craft and just absolutely shred to pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
like that's whatever. And so like no, not whatever. Like that's morally wrong.
Yeah, what I mean, John, it's like, what are we going to talk about morals? This is like an existential threat to the human race. Who cares about the morality? I want to know what the hell they are.
Yeah, exactly. No, for sure. That's what I'm thinking about. But like, it's like, so we have to like think that, okay, some people think they're like coming here and they're stopping nuclear war and they bring peace, but at the same time, you have to question like, okay, well, apparently they like us because we're still around, because they could destroy us any minute.
Well, they might not necessarily like us. They might just find us
not view
useful.
Us. Yeah, that's the thing. We're useful for some reason. For some reason,
so long. I mean,
exactly. For some reason, we were worth keeping around.
From Alan Dulles, huh? Yeah, exactly.
So, but that's not always a good thing, because we kept slaves around. So we'll see what happens.
I mean,
but they've been hands off pretty much so far. So
apparently not, dude.
That's hands off, bro. Like, that's hands off, dude. If they're coming down and frying a fucking city,
That's hands on.
No, true, but they don't.
Yeah.
Here's the great thing is that they don't need to because we do that to ourselves. Like,
what's their equivalent of a nuclear bomb?
dude, the aliens are like a therapist that
Could
tries
they
to get
blow the
tries to get
planet
the
up?
patient to stop slitting their own wrists. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but are they Nurse
inevitably we're going
Ratchet?
to.
Like, what's going on?
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Wouldn't be the worst thing. Some of us need a Nurse Ratchet to reel it in on this planet. But all right, guys, I digress. We've had a fun time here. We will be back. We're both going out of town, but we're going to record a couple episodes. So we will be back. Please consider joining the Patreon because things just are going to consistently, I imagine, continue to get taken down and continue to get blocked, and so it would be very helpful to us if we had an incentive here.
Join the Patreon. Follow me on Instagram, John Badman 2Ds.
Follow me on Instagram. You know, I think so. I just kind of assumed
She has
everyone
enough
does,
followers.
but I don't have that many followers at all. Actually,
Enough.
I'm pretty low level. All right,
I'm
I'm on nobody's radar.
I've been getting a little bit of Idahour fans. It's nice.
Oh yeah,
They're a different
really?
breed. They're a different breed.
Are they a different breed or are they the same breed?
No, they're smarter.
Are they?
Oh, yeah, a little bit
Oh,
smarter.
let's talk about that. I'm kidding. Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate anyone who's listening. We will be back, and you know, if anyone has any fun alien stories or any insight on any theories they might have, let us know. Let us know in the comments, or let us know. Yeah, probably in the comments actually, because I'm bad at opening my messages. All right, everybody. Good night. And good luck. Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is everything good in there?
Yeah, everything's great.
Fabulous. Did I close that door? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Do you want to talk about what just happened?
No. No. I got way more important fish to fry.
Okay.
Yeah. But we will.